Hey friends, so we're back with Black Women Will Save the World by April Ryan. We're doing section 2, which is chapters 4, 5, and 6. It is titled The Price, What We Endure, and How We Overcome. So chapter 4 talks about our fight. And I found it interesting that she had this encounter with this man who talked about not agreeing with her stance on Black women and Black people having to overcome certain things in America and what we face. And he flat out was like, he was born with disabilities and he doesn't agree with her. And she asked him the question, would you trade places with me? He said, you know the answer to that, and stormed off. I find that to be interesting because many people would not want to trade places with a Black person in America, which means they know what's happening to us. And either they sit by and allow it to happen, they don't fight to stop it, or they vote to continue to enable it. She then goes on to speak about the Black woman experience and how we are the most educated. We outperform many groups, especially Black men. However, we make 64 cents on the dollar. White women make 78 cents on the dollar, and we make 10% less than Black men. Yet as of 2013, the latest statistic, Black women generated $44 billion in entrepreneurial efforts. Chapter 5 is titled Our Sacrifice, Pain, Trauma, in Our Bodies. Trigger warning. She goes into the background of enslavement and how Black women's bodies were overly sexualized, and that determined acceptability in either being a slave or being free. In addition to this, she goes into imposter syndrome, how Black women have had to suppress and repress certain feelings in order to survive in certain worlds. And I find that to be the story of a lot of Black women. And then she goes about our sacrifice and how when we talk about Black women, we talk about how being strong and amazing that they are, but little do we talk about Black women experiencing joy. Child. Chapter 6 is titled Our Voice, Fighting for Our Seat and Making the Table. So in this chapter, she talks about how people like Maxine Waters found her voice and was ostracized for it. Meghan Markle talking to Oprah about being silenced, or was she silent? It just reminded me that Black women are often using our voices at the risk of being labeled so negatively. This section was very triggering for me because it just reminded me of how our contributions go uncared for, yet we still push through and we are still needed. But I don't agree that we should be saving everyone else when we should be saving ourselves. See you next chapter.